remember this day pretty clear. I know there's a potential sell area here, so based off of this area of interest here, basically the same concepts. Even though this push did form from news, let's just see what it looks like. Because you see this sweep of liquidity, all of these highs here, and is breaking this swing low at least, and left this imbalance. So let's see if we can, now that we had that push up, let's see if we can get a sell down. Let's see, it's imbalance. So I'll go to the 1 minute. So this accumulation is not the best. Let's see if we can get something else. Yeah, so based off of this, I'd probably use this as the accumulation. But it doesn't look like I'll be tagged in actually, because I would set my entry up here, so I wasn't tagged in. So yeah, I would have to just go and skip over this entry. I'll check the 3 minute and see if it gives a cleaner entry. But I usually just try to stick to the 1 minute and go for the first formed imbalance. So knowing that, yeah, I probably would have just missed that sell if it would have went through or not. But yeah, just go to the next trade. It's all good. So with how I do trade, this buy area is still pretty valid. I know it's already reacted to it once, but there was a few instances like that where it reacted to the area then came back to it. So overall, I'd still be looking for buys until it breaks this swing low completely. Not just like one candle or like a wick. I wanted to break like fully through like with big, large momentum candles. So I'm still looking for a buy in this area. So let's see if we can get a buy around that 115 mark. So yeah, this would be a buy here, definitely. Even though it's an ugly wick that broke it, it's okay. It's still valid and it's within the macro, the PM session macro. So yeah, I would have took this trade here in an area of interest. Given the AMD model, seeing this accumulation, this manipulation to the downside, it distributes to the upside even though it's a wick. And then it leaves this imbalance, and we have an entry here. So yeah, this would have been a straightforward trade. I can already see that it went through here, so yeah. And I do remember this, or at least looking at this trade, I did miss this trade, but it was a really clean trade, and probably should have took this and held a runner, but I think I was busy, so I just missed it. So yeah, Tuesday could have been a decent day. 2 wins, it's a good day, solid day. I don't know if there's any continuation, but let's see if we have a continuation for anything. I usually like to take continuations whenever there's a move with inside the move and it hasn't hit take profit yet. This has already hit take profit, so I probably wouldn't look for a continuation at this point in real life, at least like live trading. So yeah, at this point I would just let it go. Should have held a runner because I know it's basically tapping into a daily point of interest. One of these trades I probably should have held a runner and held it for a while. But overall, I know looking back on the week's perspective, it's still a accumulating range. So we'll see what happens if it takes off or not this week. It gives a really big push to the upside. So you're looking at Tuesday compared to what I just looked at. I did take a few buys earlier in the session, like before news. Looking at, I definitely took one in the first macro, so I guess I gotta have a little more patience with that, with how it formed. Guess I did it based on the order block we had first marked up, or the imbalance we had first marked up in the 15 minute. But looking back, I probably could have had more patience. I know I overall thought it was going to go to that larger imbalance, just waiting for that one. But it's still valid. I mean, I don't think I probably should take it because it's just so close to 9:30 and 10 whenever I took those trades. But it's all good. I did take advantage of that first buy, and this buy, and that was a valid trade. But the buys that I took was based off of this accumulation here, this manipulation, this imbalance, and I took that buy. It ended up being a valid loss. And that was back on the same concept of pulling into an area twice. So it pulled into this area, didn't give entry, then it went up and pulled back down to that area where there's a order block and 15-minute imbalance here. It didn't give it, so took a loss there. And it's just something to try and consider moving forward. If I still want to test it out more, even continue to do it once it's hit once, because I definitely think I should, because you can see in this area, it gives 2 moves in the same area. It's still a valid area, so yeah, it's okay. I'll just say it's a valid loss that I could have took, or I did take last week, so let's move on to the next one. So with a fresh pair of eyes, I didn't see that. Just looking at what these two are in the more valid trades, because it's a better point of interest that you're looking to return to, because it's just essentially just liquidity that's being left to be swept later. And we see that it was swept later when it pushed the upside. So for now, the next area of interest would be here. Sweeping this liquidity, leaving this imbalance here. And so yeah, we go to there, see if there's a move for Asian session or not. Looks like that didn't break, or I guess it did break. So the only issue is there's no imbalance here, so there's no entry right there for now. Probably an entry here actually, but what needed to come down further, I would set my entry here. So yeah, if we look for entry off of this, accumulations here, at least with these few candles, and you see it sweeps to the downside. And this is one of those trades, it's very few candles, probably looks better on the lower time, like the 15-second or 30-second. But it's all good. It just kind of just pattern recognition, and there's a valid win right there. Very few. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is one of those trades that it formed during a weird time. It formed right before session close, but it's still valid to take form. Yeah, like at 4:52, 8 minutes before session close. So just one of those trades. It's a weird time, but it's still valid to take because it's in that area of interest. And yeah, with another win there. Maybe some continuations of moves, but I don't take continuations. I have to take profits here. I just take my profit and go to the next trade. So yeah, still valid to look for buys in this area if you wanted to look for it, because it's not broken the swing low here. So yeah, on to the next part of the next day, because I don't do the London session, so wait till I get around here. So based off of this, there's no area that I would look to trade for so far, because yeah, nothing's here. This is already mitigated, so maybe here, but no, there's no sweep liquidity there, so I wouldn't look for anything there. So I'll let it play out a little more and see. Maybe on 30-minute looked better when it returned to this area. So maybe, okay, that would have been a little more valid to use 30-minute in this instance. I didn't use the 30-minute too much this previous week, but maybe I can this upcoming week or not, because it would look like a valid area of interest, but it just wasn't. It was already mitigated, at least on the 15 minutes. So 30-minute can be good to just balance it out and see, because this shows a regular candle body instead of like a wick into an imbalance here. But yeah, I guess we're gonna say, okay, it mitigated a 30 here for this instance and trade from it. Swept this liquidity, broke these swing highs, and then it gave us this area to trade from. Let's see if there was an entry or not. So it looks like we could have got an entry here. I would say yeah, we did. At least with, this is a little strange to imbalance because I like to use swing highs and swing lows, but definitely at least got it here, the bare minimum. Because it swept that swing low just barely, but it did. And then you got the accumulation there. And you got the manipulation distribution. I would have set my entry based off of that imbalance here. I would use probably, I guess I could use this range for the fib expansion, or even just this one. Went for 4.5 standard deviations, and yeah, barely any drawdown. Goes pretty much straight to profit. I would rather win there. That's pretty late in New York, or at least in the AM session, it's pretty late. So maybe not too many trades on Wednesday, but that's okay. Let's see if there's anything else for Wednesday. I think I remember Wednesday was a pretty busy day. Let's see as well here. So yeah, once that buy move is a solid buy. I think I actually missed that buy in live. I'd have to compare my journal soon. But I'm saying now that you have a sweep liquidity here. And it's not the cleanest one because it's all these wicks, but you can kind of see just a little bit of imbalance here. So in theory here, I would just be looking for sells, but until it breaks this area. Now it's already pushed up and reacted to this one, so this will be another area of interest as well here. And let's see what happens. So right here, this will be the first trade. You can see this accumulation here, and it's a large push down, but I always go for the first formed imbalance. At least for now I do. But let's see, it's looking like I would have got, looks like I would have had take profit before, because I would have went for about 2.5 standard deviations before. So I would have had take profit before, but I don't know, I'm iffy on when it hits take profit level before I'm tagged in. Do I delete the order, keep it open? I delete it for now, because sometimes it just runs through and it just doesn't tag you, or it just runs through your stop loss. So I'll probably just stop, or I would have deleted it for now, but it's something that this looks like, well, this big push might be clean on the 2 or 3 minute to look at. So you would have set your entry down here and then went for largest fib expansion range, and your target down here, which isn't bad because you probably could have set a little lower to run these swing lows here. So we can see what happens with that, and then looks like we can get another continuation out of this actually. Push to the upside here and probably, yeah, right here. Yeah, really small, but you could have been tagged in here. Would have set my stop loss there, and that would have went through. So that would have been a quick trade to take. And then let's see if I don't know if there's another continuation or not. Would have been still holding this one. There's a lot of consolidation, but it's okay. So like there's potentially another continuation here as well, with these few inside bars in this little range here. Then it breaks the upside and breaks the downside, left an imbalance there. Yeah, doing 2.5 standard deviations, or actually would have had it right here. So probably wanted 2 standard deviations for a take profit. So yeah, that would have worked as well. It would have been a valid win there. So far there have been 3 wins on that day. Still holding this one, see what happens. And then this is Asian session, so let's see if there's a continuation. I can try to look and see if that is valid still. Let's see if there's any other area of interest that formed as well. So yeah, no other areas of interest, or at least not a new one yet. Looks like no sells formed because just all the bullish pressure pushed up. So I'm guessing no sells formed here. Let's go and double check. It was looking like the first sells yet would have had take profit by now, so it's a valid win as well. So it looks like we could have had about 4 wins that day and no losses, so could have been a clean day that day. And then for as far as the Asian session goes, looks like there may have been a valid loss here. If we use this as the accumulation,